Frag order, frag order, frag order. All right, everybody, welcome back to another business lesson with Christian and Pride Roofing and Construction. Today we are going to continue. Oh wait, I got to announce this. This is episode number 30. I'm getting another frag order right now. Just kidding. All right, silent. I'll get back to him, I promise. Anyways, we're going to be talking about frag orders. So last week we talked about adaptability and the importance of forming to the situation that you have at hand, right? Staying rigid with your foundation, having a strong foundation, but as the market comes to you, you form and adapt to it so you can leverage it and maximize your positioning within the market, right? What we're going to talk about in this video is one of those. You know what I'm talking about. You may never have heard this term before. Around here, we call it a frag order. A lot of people call it a frag order. In the military, a frag is a grenade, or it's a bomb, or it's something live, right? It's a grenade, and when a frag is live, people yell, frag out, right? And what they're doing is they're letting the entire team, the people around them, to know to pay attention to something that is of priority, because this is a bomb and it's going to blow up, right? In business, you have your day-to-day operation. You have a plan that's set out for you. You've got a schedule. You've got these events. You've got expectations. You've got all this stuff, and it's all lined out, and you think that you're going to be perfect with it. And then all of a sudden, wham, there's that phone call. This is really a serendipitous conversation because right before we were, about to film this, I got a frag order of my own, right? And we'll talk about that a little bit. But the frag order itself is the reason it's termed that is it's supposed to be, the same focus is supposed to be given to this as it would be a live grenade falling into your foxhole, right? So what are frag orders? What are priorities that you need to take care of? Well, in this phone call, I'll give you as an example. What had happened is we have a lot of systems, we have a lot of processes, we have a lot of things that should automate themselves, and there's always an assigned representative. Now, what happened, however, is that one of our people left, right? We had turnover. Now, there's a good departure, easy peasy stuff. He got a better opportunity that I couldn't match. But he had a great account, a very important account, that unfortunately never transferred hands, right? He was an account representative. He was a communication liaison. He was the one that they depended on. He left. He never let them know that he was leaving, and we never let them know that we were picking up the ball. So this account sat for a lengthy amount of time, something unsatisfactory, right? If you were a homeowner, you were this person, your experience would have been, they're working for me, they've built a roof, they've done all these great things, and all of a sudden, bam, nobody's talking to you anymore, right? Long story short, this person, when they were previously a great contact, a great account, there's possible more work with them and with their network of people. There was, right? And instantaneously we lost that credibility, that reputation. They even forgot about the work that we had already done because we lost track of them. They felt lost, right? So right before this video, I had to change my entire afternoon before this and after this video shooting that we're talking about right now, or that we're doing right now, and I had to take their call. I had to reason with them. I had to hold myself accountable. I had to tell them what it is that I understand about this account and how this ball actually dropped. I had to assume responsibility for that. And now, for the rest of the evening, I've got to research this account, find out everything that's ever been done, everything dedicated to this job, and then I have to position ourselves to be able to finish the work that was there. I took that responsibility because my team didn't have the right steps at the beginning to transition this account from one person to the next. I take responsibility for that, and that's an example of a frag order. This needs my priority. This needs my time and dedicated energy. This is something that is going to supersede whatever I had on my list of things to do. Those other things still need to get done, right? But the frag order takes priority. So immediately as the owner of the organization, I took this call, and in this frag order scenario, it was a real frag. I jumped on that grenade. I took the explosion. I took that reputation issue and I made it my own, right? We talked about extreme ownership in videos far back. I have to take extreme ownership for that, because if my guys didn't have the protocol in place to transition this job to where it was supposed to be, that's on me. That's because my blueprint had an error inside of it. It had a mismeasurement inside of it. One of the mechanisms didn't work. So I had to jump on this grenade, this frag that's out there. I've got to prioritize my time around it. I've got to push all of my other things aside. I have to find a way to figure those out. It might be in the evening after I get my kids to bed. It might be at night. It might be tomorrow morning, sometime well before the rooster crows. Either way, I've got to take that responsibility and jump on it. And the reason that this is a priority is this is one of the very, a lot of times, let's not get this twisted. Let me reverse back for a second. A lot of times in the business, everybody thinks everything is a frag order, right? Because you have accounts, account managers who manage this account. They think that client thinks that that problem is the most important problem on the entire planet. And because this person's responsible for coordinating their account and ensuring satisfaction, they also think it's a priority. But if that moves its way back through the system and it gets back to me every single time, I'm going to understand that that one problem should have been dealt with through proper expectation setting and the minutia that ran around how they developed this account and how it transpired and became fruitful. And I'm going to realize that's not going to break the business. So what are things that we can categorize as frag orders? For me, one of the most important ones is reputation. Right? It takes you 20 years to build a great reputation. It could take you 20 seconds to lose it. Making poor decisions, not having the right protocol in place, all of those things, you're always walking a wire. You're constantly in this game of limbo. And as you're growing your business, reputation should be a forefront piece. If this is going to cause a reputation issue for you, it's not just that person that it affects, right? That one account. That one account talks to however many accounts. That one experience has whatever detrimental effects it has internally within your organization, your internal reputation. If I would have pushed it off and said, this is not my problem, so on and so forth, or any other piece like that, it could seriously damage internal and external reputation. That's a big one. Another one is profit, right? I love donations. I love when we do donations. I love, 501c3s. I love nonprofit organizations for what they stand for. But when you're running a business and it's not a charity, you're running that business for profit. You have to focus on your bottom line. You don't have to make every decision that you do off a bottom line. But if this particular incident is going to cause a detrimental effect to that bottom line, to that profit margin, you need to jump on that instantaneously, because if you quantify that problem versus all of the other little problems, this one is the one that's going to cause a detrimental effect. And the people that you've put in place, you can let them be responsible for the pieces that are all over the rest of the chessboard that you have out there, right? So you got profit should be prioritized in a frag order, reputation, and destruction. What do I mean by destruction? Months back, we had our very first roof that ever leaked inside. Right, okay, let me spin that back. There's been leaks on roofs. There's always leaks for roofs. There's always repairs, that type of stuff. But in the middle of a project, we had a non-forecasted torrential downpour that fell straight on top of a roof that was open, and we had waterfall inside the house, right? It's not something that you want to be proud about. But if we would not have prioritized our response to that, we would have never mitigated that problem, that destruction, and we would have never been able to fully satisfy this customer. We went above and beyond in that scenario with multiple parties within the organization, and we brought them to the forefront. We fixed the problems. We volunteered the service. We actually cleaned out, and we paid for all the interior mitigation and all of the exterior fixes, right? You have to prioritize those things, because if you don't, it'll be destructive to your company. So when I say that, those are your three priorities: reputation, profit, destruction, all right? So to summarize frag orders, you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to get used to this and understand this. You have a plan B, but God has a plan. Sorry. All right. You have to get used to this. You have a plan A, but the world around you has a plan B. God has a plan B, whatever you want to call it, but nothing is ever going to go perfect. You need to know which to prioritize, and which ones need to take your directed focus instantaneously and supersedes everything else. Let's get out there. Let's make sure that we're mitigating this minefield of a world that we live in. as a business owner, aspiring entrepreneur, and even somebody who just is dedicated to the overall success of the organization, you've bought into the vision of whoever it is that wrote that blueprint that you're working for. You have to understand which things to prioritize and what is a true frag order. The results can be detrimental. If you don't see the pin pulled, you don't hear frag out, and you don't jump on that grenade or get out of its way and learn to mitigate that chaos, you'll be in a lot of trouble in your career. And honestly, this could be applicable to life, right? So once again, this is Christian, Pride Roofing and Construction. Please like and subscribe, engage in the content, ask some questions. We'd love to bring you something tailor fit to you.
Bring out! I read mine.
Game face. All right.